Hey guys, Tara here from Recovering Book Hoarder. Happy Sunday. In my world, it's Saturday because I tape these on Saturday and post them on Sunday. Today is my weekly wrap up, and I am drinking today. I have to show you guys this absolutely beautiful mug that I have. So, my mom got this for me from the Museum of the Bible, and it's stained glass. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love it. I think it's so pretty. So that's today's mug. All right, so this week, guys, this week, well, let's start with some positives. So last time I talked to you, I told you guys that I was going to be going on a date with my husband on Sunday. We went to see Alton Brown. The show was called Beyond the Good Eats is what the show was called, and it was at Heinz Hall. I'm from Pittsburgh, and Heinz Hall is like, it's the home of the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra, but they have other stuff that comes as well, and it was such a cool show. Like, we had so much fun. So if you know, I don't know, I'll show you a picture. So this is Alton Brown. I don't know if you guys know who he is or not. But he is, here's some other pictures of him. You can recognize him from there. He is the host of Good Eats. And he's also been on a bunch of other shows. Like, he was on Worst Cooks in America as one of the hosts. He has done some of the announcing for Iron Chef America. He's on Next Food Network Star. He's just has his hands, he was all over Food Network, and he has since, he's not with Food Network anymore, but he was just huge. We're big Alton Brown fans in my house. We have all three of his cookbooks at this point. We've watched him on everything that he has, and it was like a variety show kind of thing. So my favorite part was, he has this thing, it's called the Rolodex of Regrets, and he sits down and he goes to this Rolodex, and he tells us that he writes all of his regrets on a Rolodex, and so he would like go through and pull them out and then give the story behind it. And oh, I was laughing so hard I was crying. Like, I could have watched him do that for the entire show. But the rest of the show was, he plays guitar. His wife was there with him. She was on guitar also. There was a drummer, keyboard player, and they did a couple of songs, food related songs. There was a demonstration. There was a quiz, like where he called people up from the audience and they did a quiz, and it was so good. We would definitely go back and see him again. And we did get some fun stuff while we were there. One of the things that we got was the program, the Beyond the Eats program, and this is like a really fun program. So there's some recipes in here and stuff, but there's also a coloring page and a word search, which y'all know I'm going to do them. But that's not the reason I bought it. The reason I bought it was for this sheet of vinyl stickers. Because I love my stickers, and the only way to get the sticker pack was to get the program. So really, I paid for that. Also got enamel pins, because I collect the enamel pins. My husband got a magnet. We each got a shirt, and it was just, we had such a great time. This was to celebrate our 11th anniversary, which was October 2nd. So we did that, and then we walked over, because it wasn't real far, to the Capital Grille, and it was our first time there, and it was good. But there's things that we would definitely do differently next time. Our server was, unfortunately, not the best server that we've ever had. And I'm sorry, but when you go to a restaurant where you are paying over $200 for two of you for a meal, that service better be phenomenal. And it was lackluster, to say the least. So it was kind of a disappointment, but we had the best time. So good. So it was like the best. Then, so work this week has been interesting, to say the least. There is currently a national shortage of psychiatrists. and that is affecting us as an outpatient clinic. And it's just been, let's just say it's been interesting, and not quiet at all, exceptionally busy. I, along with my coworker Jackie and Amanda, worked the front desk yesterday because all the girls at my front desk, it was a bad week, really bad week for them, and they took the brunt of it. And so as a reward, they were given Friday off. I said, look, we'll take care of the front desk. You guys need to take the day off. So we covered the front desk, and it was crazy. I don't know how they do it. Every time I cover that front desk, I'm like, I have such respect for my front desk, Haley and Taylor. I don't know how you have to be able to multitask, like beyond multitask, to successfully work that front desk. And every time I'm like, dude, I seriously don't know how they do it. So they have my love and my respect. And speaking of Haley and Taylor, apparently I didn't even know this until Haley told me a couple days afterwards. Apparently this week was Boss's Week. I always forget that that's even a thing. So so nice of her. Haley gave me a Barnes and Noble gift card, and Taylor was so nice. She got drinks for Jackie and I the one day, and so that was like the best part of my work week, definitely by far. So did that. On Thursday, I got to go over and take care of my nieces while my mom hurt her back this last weekend, and she went to see this specialist to try and fix it. And the specialist did help. And so, my brother and sister-in-law my sister-in-law works late, my brother-in-law works late on Thursdays, and then my dad was getting stuff ready to go to camp. So my mom had asked, hey, can you like be here and watch the girls? So got there, and so normally I always say Livy's not talking to me. My youngest niece, she is not a huge fan of me. She likes me from afar, is what I should say. She likes to interact with me. She loves it when we're on FaceTime. But as far as like me holding her, cuddling, that kind of thing, I take it when I can get it, because I am not one of her like highly, highly preferred people. So now her sister's a different story. But when I was going back through my journals, I realized her sister Ava, she was the same way. And I don't even remember a time when Ava didn't like me, but apparently she didn't, because I used to write about it all the time. Now she's like my girl. She's my girl. So in any case, when it's just me there, Livy was so nice to me. Oh, she was talking to me. She was talking to me so much. We had such a good time. Me, her, and Ava. And Cass was there, but Cass had been with them all day, so she was kind of doing her own thing. And she was cuddling with me. Let me hold her. We were doing so much stuff together. And then my mom got home. You would have thought that she had the worst time ever. And she's like, Amma. That's what she calls my mom. That's what everybody calls my mom. Amma, Amma. And she's like on top of her. Why do you look at me? I'm like a child. That's not nice. So she likes me whenever there's nobody else around. I'll take it. She's such a cutie. So here they are from Thursday. Are they not just, they're so cute. They're so cute. And they just, they love each other. Livy was crawling all over Ava, and oh God, they were both just cracking up so much. So that was Thursday, and so that was nice. And poor Cass, though, we were there until later than normal. It was probably like 6 or 6:30 before we got home, and she had assessments she had to do for school. She was supposed to take her computer with her and do them at my mom's house that day, and she forgot it. So when we got home, she had to focus on that. We're still in the middle of reading Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire, for her ELA project this quarter, and we have got to get that done this week. So we just finished the second task, and hopefully we can get done on time. It's so much longer when you're reading it out loud. Like, seriously. And, I have to do the voices and everything, too. Cassidy tells me I do an excellent house elf voice. I try. really do try. All right, so I say what? Oh, I had my In Real Life book club last night, and we. Oh, I just realized I don't have one of the books I finished this week out here, because so I'll just talk about that now. We read Hope Harbor by Irene Hannon, and it was good. I ended up giving it 4 stars. Kind of waffled between 3 stars and 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars because there was a storyline that I really liked. There was like two or three, like for sure 2 distinct storylines, but then as I was talking to my girls last night, they identified a different one of the storylines as my favorite. Like they connected 2 people that they're like, that one's more of a side character. Anyway, that was the non-romance storyline. I could have done without the romance storyline, like still had those people in there, but more as like a friendship. So yeah, Hope Harbor, Irene Hannon. It won 2 Rita Awards, and she's a 2-time Christie Award winner, and yeah, but it was good. I'm gonna read the rest of the series because I have them. I bought them all at once, so I'm like, hopefully I like this. Hope Harbor was a nice place. It was like a Hallmark movie, you know what I mean? So if you just want to read something like a feel good, might make you feel good kind of book, it's a good one to pick up. There were some things I wish we had been able to see in the ending that we definitely fast forwarded to, like there was when the thing should have happened and the next thing there's an epilogue. So I was upset we didn't get to see a particular, I don't want to give anything away. I was upset we didn't get to see something. So it is what it is. So I did finish that this week. So book club was really nice. Next time we are reading This Common Life, I think is what's, no, I'm probably mixing that up with the other one. Hold on, let me see, because it's Jan Karen's book about Father Tim and the woman he marries, their wedding. It really should be, it was put out not in this order, but it really should have been like book 2.5 in the series. It is A Common Life. A Common Life is the one that we're reading next time, and that was Ruth's pick. I have already read it, but I'll reread it. I love Mitford. I love Jan Karen. It's so good. I just want her to come out with some more. Like, seriously. So I think overall that's it for this week. Pretty sure that's it. Health-wise, my sugar has been all over the place. I'm gonna just put a little graph here for you to see those spikes. It shouldn't be like that. So that's not the best. And last night ended up really bad after book club. 301 is what it went up to, and that's really not good. I felt horrible. Like driving home was tough. I felt like I was gonna be sick, and I wound up, like, I wanted to go to bed right when I got home, but I didn't. I ended up falling asleep in my chair instead. My husband woke me up and was like, hey, you gonna go to bed instead of sleeping here? So that's been all over the place. My hand's still hurting quite a bit right here. The inflammation's still really bad. And yeah, my mental health this week's just been really, some part of that, the sugar could be stress related, because I'm really stressed out at work right now. So stress definitely plays into my blood sugar also. So it could be that, but I think I'm going to send my doctor, I'm going to download my graphs and probably send them to her so she can see them, since I'm not due back there. I was just there, but it was going okay, anyway. Oh, it is what it is. So, all right. That's my week. Let's talk about reading. My reading was significantly better this week than it was last week, because last week the week before, you guys know I had read pretty much nothing. But no more depositions have been released from the LuLaRoe lawsuit. So I didn't have those distracting me away. So, the books that I finished this week, I already told you, that, guys, I finished Hope Harbor by Irene Hannon. Other books that I completed, I finished Finding Jake by Brian Reardon, and this actually wound up being 4 stars. I would say I like 4.5, but Goodreads doesn't let you do halves. And I didn't quite feel like it should round up to a 5, so on Goodreads it's a 4, but really it's like 4.5. This was done really, really well. It is about a school shooting. There is a dad he's a stay-at-home dad. The wife works, dad's the one that stays home. There's 2 kids. He has a son and he has a daughter. They're both in high school. And one day he's home and he sees the neighbor across the street, like race up the street. Next thing he knows, his text message is going off, and it's telling parents that there's been a shooting at the school and they all need to congregate at this church. And as the day goes on, there's less and less people. More kids are being released. 13 kids have died. Everybody's accounted for. He's the last one left in the gym, and his son is unaccounted for. So it is suspected that his son is one of the shooters. And it's a dual timeline, so it goes back and forth between watching him grow up and then the shooting, like current, what's going on. And I was more interested in the current timeline. However, that background is really important to the story. So even though I enjoyed the current one more than the past one was needed. And it was a nice closure. That the closure piece of it was good for the end of the story also. So 4.5 stars. I liked this one more than I had anticipated, because this was one of those buys off of a book outlet that's like, I had never heard of it, just happened to see it, grabbed it, hoping that it would be good, and it really was. Definitely recommend it. Okay, then I finished Well Met by Jen DeLuca, and I thought that I would like this one so much more than I did. It takes place at a Renaissance fair. I love Renaissance fairs. The issue was, it's hate to love, which is fine. I like a good hate to love romance, but there was also a lot of constant misunderstanding, which is a trope I don't particularly like. So that really affected it for me. So I wound up giving this one 3 stars. Then I finished State of Fear by Michel Crichton, and I enjoyed this one. It was not overly sciencey at all. Pretty sure I hadn't finished this one yet when I talked to you guys last, right? Like, did I? I don't even have my thing here now. Oh, my thing's over there. I don't remember if I talked to you guys about this one or not. In any case, not too overly sciencey. It was, I enjoyed it. It's about a environmental agency that global warming. I definitely did not talk about this. Global warming is like the main piece of this, and how it's a big con. Like, global warming isn't actually happening. We're not really causing any kind of environmental issues, and here's the science to prove that. But there's this like huge conspiracy on an upper level about global warming, and there's this lawsuit, and yeah, it was good. It was good. One of the better Michael Crichton books that I have read, I think, because it wasn't overly sciencey. off the top of my, I can't remember if I ended up giving it 3 or 4 stars. I will, you'll know for sure in my in my wrap up for the month, because my thing's over there. All right. Last one that I finished this week is the Screwtape Letters. This is the annotated edition. This is by C.S. Lewis, and the Screwtape Letters, the actual story itself, to me is a 5-star read. This is a reread for me. The annotated piece, though, which is what makes up this book, to me is only like a 3-star read. So I thought that it was going to be more of an analysis of the story, and it's not. It's more like footnotes would be. And they explain a lot of times things that, like, I don't need explained. Like, I don't need to have a definition of hopscotch given to me. I'm aware of what hopscotch is, okay? And then a lot of like, hey, this is taken from this piece of C.S. Lewis's work, and this is where this is taken from. Like an explanation of who like they give an explanation for who Napoleon is. Like, I would say I needed about 50% of the annotations that were in here. The other 50% I don't think were needed. So Screwtape Letters itself, 5 stars, but the annotation piece is only 3 stars. So that's how I finished up the week. I finished that this week. So let's move into what I am currently reading. So still currently reading Roots, Alex Haley, and this is so good. It's really good. I am kind of at like somewhat of a boring part right now. There's like a lot of discussion about cockfighting, which like I think is horribly brutal, and I don't need as much description of that as they're giving. But this book is a classic, an American classic for a reason. So I am on chapter 95, I think. Yeah, I'm about to finish chapter 95, which I'll finish today, because then I'll read 96 through 100 tomorrow. So that's going well. I'm on track with that. And then I started this week. This was a mistake, and I'll tell you why. So I started The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates, and I'm really liking this. Here is the problem. Now, I had absolutely no idea what this was about. For one, I think it was for Buzzword-a-thon, one of the reading challenges I'm doing this year. I needed, what was it? I needed an element in the title, like earth, wind, fire, water, one of those. So I went with this, because Water Dancer did not read what it was about or anything. And the problem, I try, because I read so much at once and I read a lot of things at the same time, I really try to keep from reading 2 similar books at once. I had no idea that this is another slave story, and is very, so one of the things I have an issue with about Roots is there should be parts, like there should be very clear parts, I feel, to this. And I can show you where I think each part should be. So for part 3 of the book, I feel like he must have really gotten a lot of inspiration from part 3, what I consider to be part 3 of Roots. And I guess that's to be expected, because, you know, Roots is like the original slave story in literature. And so just like anyone that writes fantasy is going to always pull, even inadvertently, from Lord of the Rings and J.R.R. Tolkien, or just like any kind of science fiction is going to pull from Ursula K. Le Guin without even meaning to necessarily. I don't know if this was like purpose. I don't know. But it's so similar that I'm having a very hard time separating them in my head. Like, I'm listening to this and I have to keep reminding myself that it's not Roots. It's not part 3 of Roots. And so that's the part that's confusing, and I wish I had not chosen to read this the same month as this. I have over 400 books on my shelves. What are the odds? I can figure it out, and they're not good, of me picking out two similar books with absolutely not meaning to. So, but this is really, I'm enjoying this one a lot. In here, he talks about there's like this, he constantly has this picture of his mom who had been taken away from him when he was very, very young. Like, he can't actually remember her, but he has this memory of her from other people telling him about her, this dancing that she used to do. And I can so clearly picture this in my head. Like, he's very descriptive. I can see it all really well. Not overly descriptive, just enough that I can very clearly picture it. So I am really enjoying this one. I am about 100 pages into that. So continuing with this week. And then let's see. I am going to be starting for sure this week. Tomorrow I'm going to start praying the Lord's Prayer for spiritual breakthrough, because I'll be reading this one in the morning. You know, I had just finished up the Screwtape Letters, so this will be my next morning reading. I have not started yet the Loving the Highlander by Janet Chapman, and I'm saying this because this is like the last week here, right? Last week, October, I think. So I need to get this one started this week, and this is a reread for me. These read really, really quickly, so this should not be an issue. 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. I have not started this one yet, so hopefully I can get this one done, and then in the process of reading this, but if I don't finish it, it's just going to be DNF'd at the end of this month because not loving it. Did I say what it is? Cup of Comfort from Others. Edited by Colleen Sell. And then I still have 3 additional stories to read in here because this is a compendium of the Seed to Harvest books, and it has Wild Seed, Mind of My Mind, Clay's Ark, and Pattern Master in here. And we'll see what happens with this one. If I don't finish it, I think I'm going to start it and then see what I think. I might not finish this series. Just because, like, the first book was fine. It was fine. It was 3 stars. But I'm just not, like, compelled really to pick it up again. So we'll just see on that one. So it's on my list for this week, but maybe not. And that's where we're at, reading-wise, for the remainder of this month. I do not have any acquisitions for this week, which is a good thing. However, I'm very excited because I was contacted by an author to read a middle grade book. She's going to send me her middle grade book. So I will talk about that one more once it gets here. I will unbox it with you guys during one of my weekly chats. I will be here next week for a weekly chat. The following week I'm going to camp. So there will be a video posted that Sunday. It just won't be a chat. It'll be something else. Continuing to work on my try a chapter this week. I have one more to film for my young adult, and then we'll move into, I think, middle grade. I'm just kind of moving up my shelf. And then I have some videos I'm going to tape today for Nonfiction November. I have 3 videos in mind for that. And we'll be doing my TBR and stuff coming up here too. So busy. Did I say that my nieces are coming over tonight? I don't know if I did or not. My nieces are coming over tonight. So I just have to finish cleaning my house today before they get here. They're going to come here while my brother and sister-in-law go to dinner. I'm excited because Livy hasn't been here since she was little, and she's never been able to play with the toys and stuff. Usually Ava comes here, and then Livy gets to spend time with other people by herself. So I think that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. All right, so that is my week, my wrap-up, my what's coming up that all that kind of fun stuff. So what'd you guys do this week? I would love to know. Have you read any of these books I talked about? What are your thoughts? All right. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you want to find me other places, everywhere I can be found is down in the description box. And don't forget, I also do floss tube and color tube content. All right, guys, I will see you later. Bye.